brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Rule clarification. Can you get a brekkie penalty when I know you're in the building, but you're not in Studio 1? Because you were close there. You were close. The morning anthem was just firing as you strolled into this room. Now, I know you've been in Studio 3 for the last half hour, but if you had not made it in here, you by 0.8 of a second, you set foot in the studio as the morning show anthem was beginning. If you hadn't made it, is that a brekkie penalty?
Should I be penalized, to answer your question with a question, should I be penalized for A, getting to work early, and B, just knowing the timing of this station so flawlessly?
Getting to work early in the wrong part of the building is not necessarily, in itself, reason to avoid a brekkie penalty.
Listeners at home never would have known.
That's true.
Slid in, none the wiser.
Well, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Morning, everybody. Wheeler doesn't get a brekkie penalty. He's taking his regulation morning off. We'll allow him that. It's Ollie and Lecter with you. Welcome along to Cabin Radio. Minus 16 outside, 0 active COVID-19 cases, 30 days to Christmas. That's everything you need to know. For your Wednesday morning, it is 7:01. Welcome along to a peaceful, tranquil couple of hours. I've got the nice, soft on-air light on this morning.
Real ambience in here.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the on-air light that was part of the show at NAC.
Yes.
That we did with Jessie and Jessie's mom. And it has a really nice, soft glow to it. And we don't use it enough. Clams and Moose, big advocates of that light.
Yeah.
I see they use it a lot.
Yeah.
We normally go for the harsh overhead lighting. But I came in this morning, Sibs doing the news, had just the Christmas lights on. I was enjoying the ambiance. So this morning's show is brought to you by an ocean of tranquility.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
0 cases, 0 active cases of COVID-19 in the Northwest Territories as of this morning. Now, I want to put a little asterisk on that. 0 cases that we are aware of. You never totally know because testing's not perfect.
Feeling pretty good about this Wednesday morning, and then you just put the seed of doubt in my head.
Just a little asterisk, just to say, let's not all start, rushing to hold 50-person indoor gatherings anytime soon.
No makeout parties, huh?
No makeout parties, because you just don't know. Were they a thing before? Was I just not getting invited?
I think they were in the States. They might still be in the States. I don't know.
Where the only object of the party is for everybody to make out with everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a bad idea even without a pandemic.
I mean,
it just
depends
seems
on who you ask, I guess.
It sort of seems like from an infectious disease point of view, not great.
Yeah.
Even without COVID-19, and from an emotional damage point of view, there's a lot that's likely to go wrong there. I'm just saying.
People can't throw parties without themes anymore, right? So it's a theme.
That's an odd theme. What happened to, your favorite Christmas movie?
No.
Otherwise known as the City of Yellowknifes crutch theme for every single... I feel like I've lived here, 6 years now?
Yeah.
I think 5 out of the last 6 Santa Claus parades have been your favorite Christmas movie.
I think you're right.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for a Santa Claus parade, you can't do ugly Christmas sweater theme.
It's a great theme.
That's the other crutch.
That's true. It's a great theme.
Yeah.
It's a great theme. And ugly Christmas sweater is every office Christmas party ever, isn't it?
Pretty much.
What's the theme for the Cabin Radio Christmas party this year?
I believe it's plaid chic.
Plaid chic. That's it. Yes. Yeah. And you know what? Fair play to them. That's a different theme. It's not a theme I've seen deployed.
No.
It's a terrible theme, but it's a different theme.
It's different.
It's different. I mean, I'm only complaining because I'm British and don't own plaid, but...
I told Jimmy T that I think what that means, if you read between the lines, I think plaid chic just means plaid pants.
Just means plaid, doesn't it? Wear something with plaid on it.
Well, plaid shirt is just, is not, I don't know if that's chic.
Is that not chic?
But if you go with the plaid pants...
Okay.
That's, that's a little different.
Yeah, I suppose. It is.
Yeah.
It is. I just don't know my way around plaid.
No, fair.
Fair. I
didn't grow up with it.
Didn't grow up with it. This is just like we're right back onto skiing all over again. Skiing and plaid.
Yes.
Skiing, skating, plaid, back bacon. Things that Canadians know inside out, and I just am taking a little time to ease my way into.
I don't think Phil Collins wears plaid, so you didn't have a role model.
I had no frame of reference.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I understand how to go through court to get my ex-wife out of the house when she sets armed guards on me, because I follow Phil's life. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, just type Phil Collins into Google. You'd be surprised what he's up to these days.
He's keeping busy.
He's keeping busy. He was supposed to be on a world tour.
Oh, really?
Right about now. Yeah, Genesis were reforming and going back out on a world tour. Why do I know this? I had tickets to go see a show in the UK in 2 weeks' time.
That explains everything. Why he's like not showering or brushing his teeth. Supposedly, for a year.
Allegedly. If you're wondering why on earth we know this, just type Phil Collins into Google. It's a thing. There's a lot. Those court whatever's going on in Phil's life, it's all out there right now. There's a lot of dirty laundry.
He's just simulating life on the road.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and when I say dirty laundry, ordinarily that's a turn of phrase to mean someone's private life is being exposed to the public. But it turns out in this instance, it is literal dirty laundry.
Yeah.
That is apparently being exposed. It's quite a thing. To think that we started this talking about zero active COVID-19 cases. And I just wanted to take a moment. We put asterisks on that, like I have just done, and we can be almost certain there will be more. Even by now, there could be more being recorded. Who knows? We await more information from the Chief Public Health Officer. But let's just take a moment and be happy that, hey, alone among jurisdictions in North America.
Yeah.
Zero active COVID-19 cases.
I mean, quite frankly, given what we know is, the case count, what's going on in Nunavut, it's actually kind of surprising that we, a week and a half or week later after their uptick in cases, that we're still sitting at zero.
Yeah, I certainly was expecting to start hearing at least a few cases had been imported just through air travel before that bubble closed at the start of last week. Nunavut up to 142 cases as of yesterday.
Wow.
The majority of which are in the community of Aviat, which has community spread. And that's something that, of course, the NWT has been trying to avoid. But even if you set Nunavut to one side, Alberta is on something like 14,000 active cases.
Yeah.
And Alberta, that's the one we have the road link to, and that's where a lot of our supplies are coming from.
Yeah.
And that's obviously where a lot of flights are coming from as well. There are still people coming in. You look at the stats for people coming in. Yes, we have what amounts to a form of a border closure, but you're still looking at about 800, 900, 1,000 people coming in each week.
Yeah.
Even with that. Yeah. And the majority of those are truckers.
Yes.
Are people driving in supplies, and they have no requirement to isolate because it's not feasible to ask them to do that. Yeah. So
luckily, the nature of the job is pretty isolated, but
but even so, and chances are truckers are kind of like us in as much as I don't know about you, but I'll put my hands up and say, have I followed the letter of the instructions on COVID-19 at all times since they were just probably not.
I've seen you.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, have I washed my hands at all appropriate moments? Yeah, probably not. May I have strayed into one or two homes for gatherings where maybe there were more than 5 people in there? If I looked back, I would probably have to conclude I may not necessarily have followed the letter of that law as well.
They're straying around.
I'm just saying I feel like a lot of people are probably in the same boat as me. Yeah. Tried to obey those rules as best we can. Might have strayed once or twice.
Yeah.
I imagine truckers are in the same boat as that as well. So all that being said, and I did a bit of math yesterday, just in the provinces and territories around the NWT, there are about 24,000 active cases.
Good Lord.
Right now. And that's just the ones that we have a border with.
Right.
So, I think in Canada it's around 40, 50,000 total. There's a lot going on. So for the NWT to be at zero right now, even if that is only fleeting, even if it doesn't last for longer than a day or two, it's an achievement.
Yeah.
And for all that, we're not perfect, and I'm sure everybody out there has had times when they've maybe not followed the rules completely, we're doing a good enough job, and we just need to keep doing it. And it has to be said, I went out grocery shopping the other day and forgot my mask.
Ollie!
I know. And there were so many... So this is at the co-op where masks are not mandatory.
Oh, I see.
And I went in there, and despite the fact they're not mandatory, I was maybe one of 4 people in a packed store that didn't have their mask with them. And, sufficiently socially shamed in the course of that half an hour.
Without a word, I bet.
That'll be, without a word.
Just
nobody even looked at me. Nobody even looked at me.
No one even looked at you.
Well, nobody that I noticed even looked at me, and I just, even without that, there was sufficient bulk of people wearing masks that I was like, you know what? This is the moment at which I start wearing a mask everywhere. I get it. I'm sorry. I apologize to all of you. I'm doing it.
You didn't even find any groceries, did you? You couldn't pick your eyes up off the floor.
No.
The shame you must have felt.
Shuffled on in, shuffled right back out again. Didn't eat for a week.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
I think this is the first time that I've looked outside at this time in the morning and thought, yeah, you know what? This is about as dark as it's going to get. What do we got?
That, yeah.
3 more weeks and a bit?
Yeah, just under a month.
Maybe a month,
Till the darkest day of the year.
Darkest day, I mean, by this point, you sort of, darkest day of the year, like, they all blur into one at this point.
How dark can it get?
How dark can it really get? And then you get to 10 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh, this dark. Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then you get to 2:30 in the afternoon, you're like, oh, this dark. Okay.
You taking your vitamin D over there?
No, and are you?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Keeps me from screaming.
Is that what it does?
Helps me.
Okay.
You don't hear me screaming, do you?
Well, no. How do we give Jesse some
Resisted
vitamin?
an urge there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I said, we got less than a month to go.
Okay.
And then the screaming, it slowly dissipates.
I mean, there are times in the summer when I yearn for this time of the year.
Really?
Yeah. Getting up early to come in here. You go to bed like 10:30 at night. It's bright daylight outside.
Love it.
You wake up at 4:30 in the morning. It's bright daylight outside.
Wonderful.
Could we have some darkness?
No.
Could I feel relaxed?
Absolutely
for
not.
For once. It's been months now, and the sun has not left.
Give me all the energy. I don't need to sleep.
Because I don't get to stay up long enough during the week to see the sun actually try to leave. So the sun is permanently there in my life for months at a time. And I start to lose my mind a little bit. And I
Here comes the sun.
No, it never left. It's not coming. It just never went. It's still there.
It's still there. Do, 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 do.
No, it's too much. It's too much. I just can't. It really starts to bother me.
Little Ollie.
Okay, you need to take less of your vitamin D. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but you are too peppy, and I'm not sure how I feel.
Vitamin D and echinacea every morning.
And what wasn't that like Sonic the Hedgehog's buddy, the pink one? Oh no, that was an echidna.
That was Neville.
That was an echidna.
Oh, okay.
Knuckles.
Oh, Knuckles, right.
So I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Neville. Wasn't there a character named Neville in Sonic the Hedgehog?
I don't know.
I think that was like his girlfriend or something.
His girlfriend was called Neville?
I think so.
I have a lot of questions about that. Okay.
Right now. Sonic.
Wait, obviously we all know Tails.
Hedgehog.
Tails was always my favorite.
Tails?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love Tails. I always played as Tails when given the option.
Hedgehogville.tumblr.com.
No, I think you are thinking of something else.
Neville Sonic Longbottom is what's coming up.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's not his nickname either. I think that's the only Neville that most people know from children's lore, isn't it? Neville Longbottom?
Yeah, maybe I'm making that up.
Yeah, I think you're making that up.
Okay.
Fascinating world that we've entered there that you've created for yourself where Sonic has a girlfriend named Neville. And I would like to meet that girl's parents because I got questions. But anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog, by the way, my dad used to get me the comics for Sonic.
Comics?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were comics.
It was a Sonic comic. It came out maybe every month, maybe even every couple of weeks.
Okay.
That was great. Oh, for years I read those. They were great fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Sonic
Dr.
comic.
Robotnik. I think, is he not called
Dr.
something?
Dr. Robotnik, yeah.
Yeah.
Was voiced by James Avery, Uncle Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
A Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Huh.
Yeah.
That I did not know.
In the cartoon, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's very difficult to voice comics.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
If anyone could find a way.
What would I think about that if you opened a comic up and it was like one of those Christmas cards or greetings cards you can get? You know the ones you can get where you open them up and they play a sound because they got a little speaker embedded in them.
Yeah.
Imagine having comics that would do that. And you'd open the comic up and it would play the panels.
Oh, that would have been so cool in 1996.
Right. I feel like that would briefly have been amazing, followed by redundant and weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just random, like, Superman quotes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what Did Superman even have a catchphrase? Can't even think of what he would say if he had the opportunity. Superman, what would you say if we passed you the microphone? I don't think he'd have anything to say.
No, I don't know. My whole experience of superheroes has been soiled by your TV show. The Boys.
The Boys. Oh, yes.
On Amazon Prime, in case you're wondering.
So good.
I know we keep mentioning this. I have now finished it.
Oh, have you?
I plowed on through.
Holy.
Yeah, last we spoke, I was on season 1, episode 4.
I've just starting, yeah.
Put to bed 12 more episodes. And that's the end of that, as of last night. Yeah.
Not to get too into that, but all I'll say is, going back to season 1, how about that airplane scene? Oh, my God. Holy.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this show, I recommend it. It probably... I think there's a certain age that you probably need to be before you can watch that because it's one of the goriest shows out there. Although the gore is sort of overdone enough that it's not as creepy or horrible as it could be.
It's over the top, graphic novel style. Yeah, gore. Which
desensitizes it a little bit, just enough for me to be able to get through without losing too much of my breakfast.
That's right.
Yeah. No, great show. Okay, good. So we've established, therefore, that I could put up with the dark. I could probably put up with 3 more months of this.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to start to go stir crazy. Like the rest of us. But that's what February's for, right? For all of us to slowly lose our minds. And then March comes along and rescues us with all those social events that we may or may not be able to attend.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Lecter, AJ, and Ollie with you on your Wednesday morning. Lovely to have you with us. Santa Claus joins us in studio as well. At least a little scale model there, just hanging out. We dug out. We already had some decorations up for this year, but we've dug out some of last year's decorations. Lecter's trying to get a good look at Santa, but he's hiding from you a little bit. Hey,
he's got bushels of.
Yeah, he's got a bundle of sticks there in his
does he have a bundle of sticks?
Left arm. Well, he's probably building a little fire or something. I don't know.
Oh,
or he's
why does he need to build a fire?
Light a fire under Rudolph.
He has days off. Oh. Okay, he's not working all the time.
Hang on,
get an elf to build it.
Let me pick him up.
They're not. It's not slave labor.
I
they get paid.
Think it is.
I'm assuming they get paid for their work.
So he's got a sack of sticks on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And they seem to have some cherries on them or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's got more sticks in his hand.
It's good kindling.
And he's looking up in a sort of...
maybe he's building a sled.
It seems a little
makeshift.
I mean, that sled's got quite a way to travel there, Lecter, and I'm not sure I would feel comfortable. Yeah, if you were getting on a transatlantic flight and you saw the pilot walking out with a bundle of sticks constructing the aircraft, would you get on board?
He's the only passenger.
Okay.
He had a red hat and a big jolly belly. Yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't have the opportunity to ride on that sled with him.
No, that's true.
So
equally,
it really only affects Santa.
Yeah. I'm still allowed to be concerned for the guy, aren't I? I mean,
that's fair.
You know. Anyway, so Santa's in the studio, just a little scale model, just representing. AJ, of course, has strolled in as well. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, not bad. Yeah, it's almost Advent calendar time.
Hey, it's a scale model of AJ, too.
This is real
1-to-1.
Real size version.
Right.
Yeah. Almost Advent calendar time. We are 30 days out from Christmas, as of today. Less than a month. Have you done any Christmas shopping?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
On top of it.
AJ?
Mm-hmm.
No. But we only buy one present, so we do a draw, and so someone in the family
someone
gets
the present.
And someone gets the present.
We buy one present, one member of the family gets it. That's the end of Christmas.
That's it.
Okay.
And then we retreat to our rooms and we don't talk to each other.
Great.
Yep.
I like that.
If I know AJ's holiday traditions, I think it's somewhere around there.
It's not far from the truth.
This year, because of COVID, every family is entitled to one gift, and they must apportion it to the most deserving family member to ensure the limited transmission of gifts.
It's Lysol wipes. Yes.
Oh, right.
Hence, I'm relying on Advent calendars to get us all through December. Now, Cabin Radio, of course, will have its own Advent calendar, which is always on Facebook, where we bring up 24 of our favorite little video clips from the year. So I'm just in the process of selecting my short list of 24 to be turned into the Cabin Radio Advent calendar on Facebook, which is very exciting. But then I realized I also have at home this beautiful wooden Advent calendar. It's a beautiful, it's a full-on, it must be about 1.5 feet tall, and a couple of feet wide. It's got 24 little drawers that you can pull out. And then on the top, it has a little lit-up Christmas tree and a whole city scene on the top of it. It's a beautiful piece of art. I love it.
Cute.
However, it has occurred to me that the problem with this Advent calendar is that, of course, the 24 drawers are empty. The idea is that you fill them. And the element of surprise is going to be somewhat lost, as there's only one candidate to fill those drawers, and that's me.
Ah.
So essentially...
Well, what if you pass it off? What if you bring it in and we'll fill it for you?
I suppose I could do that.
Let's do that.
I mean, it runs risks of its own, because I feel like some people in this office are more likely to fill that with nice things than others.
No.
I
know.
Us. Well, maybe not. I'm not necessarily talking about the people in the room.
They'll all be nice things.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. There's some jokesters and japesters and tricksters and
Not here.
Japesters?
Yeah, japesters.
How
Not
dare
at the
you?
cabin.
Oh, I've seen some japesters.
Watch your language.
Jeez. The insinuation. Japesters.
Yeah.
I don't even
Believe
know what that is, but
Never
it
in my
sounds
life.
nefarious.
Never in my life have I been called a japester.
No.
Well, I'm still not calling you a japester.
No.
Okay. I know who you're... Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Total
You
japester.
know who I'm talking about.
So you never know. But I might do that. I'll bring in the advent calendar. It is a nice little piece of work. Very proud to own it.
You said it's a foot high, 2 foot wide?
Yeah, it's a big old...
So it's landscape mode.
It's a landscape advent calendar. Yeah, I mean, it's more of an advent construction than a calendar. I mean, it is a full-on
I'd like to see it.
thing. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll bring that in. And it can be filled with stuff, and we'll go from there.
That'll be fun.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
occurred to me this year that is kind of a novel thing that is not common, having an advent calendar that doesn't include candies or chocolates or something like that. When I was growing up, that was the norm. We had an advent calendar that just had like 24 little pockets, a Christmas tree, and you just put up a different ornament.
And
Yeah.
those
the tree.
chocolates were just better. I don't know what it was. Like,
We didn't even
loved
have
those
chocolates. We just enjoyed the joy of the season, AJ.
what? Oh, my
the
God.
countdown.
Sounds like a waste of time.
No, this is...
Decorating the tree as you go along.
I didn't even have that. I mean, as a kid, I'm sure I had maybe the occasional candy advent calendar, but the most treasured possession in the house when I was growing up was this little, essentially a Christmas card. It was no bigger than your average Christmas card, and it had on the front 24 tiny little windows on a Christmas tree decoration on the front that you could open up. And they had nothing except a nice picture behind each one. There was no decoration. They weren't big enough to hold anything. They were literally just little paper flaps on the front of a Christmas card.
You guys were robbed.
That was the advent calendar.
You guys
and
were robbed.
No, it was beautiful. It was the nicest thing.
It was simple joys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing, but I had chocolate in there. That's better.
Now you get these lint constructions, and yeah, sure, they got a nice bit of candy in them and everything.
There's beer advent calendars now.
Beer
People are
advent
living the
calendar,
life.
yeah.
I saw, actually, Nicole sent me this, that the Yellowknife Co-op has a cheese advent calendar.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. It's 24 days long. Will cheese last 24 days? Like, what do you...
I assume they're all individually wrapped.
Yeah.
I don't think they just put,
Put them in the fridge or something, I guess?
Maybe.
I just feel like logistically there's a little more to a cheese advent calendar than...
You're probably right.
Chocolate
I
or
haven't.
beer.
Oh, it does say keep refrigerated.
All right.
So
There you go.
You got to keep your advent calendar in the fridge.
This is why my shellfish advent calendar failed so miserably last year. Yeah. After 21 days, pocket,
Ooh,
open
24
door.
is an oyster.
Yeah. There were a lot of issues. Yeah.
I got a prawn on day 18.
It is also confusing because on the front of it, it says, now with 9 cheeses. And then on the bottom, it says, 24 delicious cheeses inside. How many cheeses are there?
So presumably 9 types of cheese? Is this where we're going with this?
You're probably right.
Okay. Even that, though, it's sort of...
A little lackluster.
Edam again. You know, like...
American cheddar's in here 8 times.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
More cheese slices. 81% less plastic, though.
Kraft singles just crammed in.
Folded up into 4 pieces.
Just not even in their original form anymore. Oh, man.
Just mashed in there.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
great.
better than that.
Okay. That's interesting. Cheese advent calendar. I would go for that.
Yeah, there you go.
Cheese advent calendar, beer advent calendar, chocolate advent calendar.
And here we were like chumps, just decorating little pieces of art.
Who knew that?
With Christmas spirit. You idiot.
Well, so
Simpler time.
glad rampant materialism is here to save us from that. There you are. You thought you were having a rough year, but don't worry. There's a cheese advent calendar around the other side of the end of this month.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
And now Sarah in Studio One. Morning, Sarah. How you doing?
Good morning. Pretty good.
Excellent. Welcome, everybody. It is a very exciting morning because, well, it's not exciting at all. There's toilet paper shortages. I was trying to find a nice way to tell that to you. You know?
Pretty exciting.
Like, hey, guys,
I don't
guess
know.
what? There's no real way to get around this. Toilet paper again? Again?
I know. I don't get it at all.
Why? What's going on?
Well, it's more exciting than fully stocked toilet paper shelves. That's nothing to talk about. That's just normal.
I suppose the pulse quickens a little
That's right.
as you go down the aisle and you think to yourself, this is unfortunate. I've got none in the house. Now there's none left here either. It's very odd, and I can only imagine, and if you're wondering where all this is coming from, it's because people over the last few days have been sharing photos the same way it was in March and April of empty shelves where toilet paper should be. And I can only think that this must be related to shortages elsewhere, making it harder to stock up in Yellowknife if you're the store owner, because there can't be any reason in Yellowknife right now to be hoarding toilet paper, can there?
You wouldn't think.
Not with our 0 cases. But down south, where everything is a red zone and everything is locked down and they're not allowed to buy anything non-essential, I could see why you'd be panicking. Not saying that toilet paper is not essential. I am. different.
I mean, it is kind of essential, but
But people are probably concerned, and they're like, "Are they going to rope off this aisle? Am I going to be allowed to go down it for the next 3 weeks?"
Yeah, but there's not more. See, the thing you use toilet paper for, there's not more production of that. You know what I mean? Like, why do you need more toilet paper than you would need any other day?
Well, you'll be at home. You won't be at work, so you'll have to use
still.
all your home toilet paper.
I'm eating the same amount of fiber I always have.
See,
I don't understand.
This is my theory. People are at home a little more often. They're not going out to eat. So now they're experimenting with cooking. So they're making their own food.
Danger.
Now, in my experience, when I cook for myself, yes, there is a little bit more toilet paper consumption involved. That's my theory.
Okay. I like it. I like it as a theory. You know what? It's probably one of the better theories I've heard. We did search on Google toilet paper shortage to see if this was a thing more broadly. It is. So USA Today yesterday ran a headline, "Don't count on finding toilet paper on your next run to Target or Walmart." Target, remember them. In Chicago, my favorite headline, "COVID panic buying leads to shortages of paper towels and bacon."
Interesting.
And of course, all of these stories are just going to further make people
Make it
anxious.
worse.
Yeah.
Here in Yellowknife, go get bacon while you can, apparently.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
that's the next one out the door.
Well, when you run out of toilet paper,
You wipe with bacon?
that's obviously, that's your next alternative, right?
Seems...
I followed your first theory. I don't know if I followed that
Yeah,
one.
okay, I lost you on the second theory, huh? All right, well, I'll keep trying.
Having the long, thin strips, I suppose.
We get
There's something to be
Canadian.
said for 'em.
Canadian back bacon?
Maybe
you know?
when they're raw. Maybe not when they're cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, cooked is a little
crispy.
A little crispy. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad we've planted that image in everybody this morning. But yeah, bacon.
I
and
have
paper
to say,
towel.
I am looking forward to March 2021, April 2021, when everyone starts getting their Facebook memories from that, and everyone's Facebook memories is just the picture they took of the supermarket toilet paper aisle being blank. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait to tell my kids one day, walking through the grocery store, look at this, son. Look at this fully stocked aisle of toilet paper.
This is how far we've come.
Back in my day, we had a pandemic. This was totally barren.
We use bacon.
Just wrapping up other news stories that we haven't covered in the last couple of days, and maybe we'll struggle a little to come up with quite such imagery for this one. Northwest Tel, yesterday, finally, putting an actual firm, this one probably won't change date on unlimited data plans for the good people of Yellowknife and some other Northwest Territories communities. I think it's Fort Smith, Hay River, Norman, Wells, off the top of my head. December the 1st. So initially it was going to be November the 2nd. Then it turned out the CRTC needed a bit more time. SSI Micro had a lodged an intervention. And now the CRTC has given interim approval, which basically means, go on then, we're not done yet, but you might as well start. And Northwest Tel later on yesterday saying December the 1st is when you will start to be able to buy the packages. So you can't go to them yet. You can't set it up now, ready for December the 1st. They're not legally allowed to offer it until December the 1st. Moment that rolls around, you'll be able to get in touch with Northwest Tel and get an unlimited plan. If you want, it'll cost you $10 more if you're on their top 2 plans right now, or it'll cost you $50 more if you're on their lower quality plans.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
You can't wipe with that, though.
Well, I mean, let's be clear. It sounds great if you said, it just cost you $10 more. Still, that's $250 a month.
Oh, it's pretty high price as it is.
We say it's not bad. Yeah. Comparatively, it's not bad.
Yeah, I guess. Just to make the jump to unlimited. Because, your overage charges are outrageous, right?
Yeah.
If you go over a little bit, you've spent more than $10.
This is true. No, it is exciting. Especially, we're getting into the holiday
exciting.
season. People are going to be at home for a whole bunch of time.
I'll believe it when I see it, Ollie. The word interim, it makes me, I don't know. We've just we've got our hopes up, and they've come crashing down before. I'll believe it when I see it come December 1st.
Guarded optimism.
Are you somehow suggesting, AJ, that a decision that the CRTC may be taking some time to make might have an adverse impact on your quality of life and future hopes and ambitions?
If they're listening, no.
Okay.
If they're not, yeah. Yeah, in a very big way.
We're big fans of the CRTC here at Cabin Radio. So, Northwest Tel, December the 1st. That's good news. So if you don't have any toilet paper, you will at least be able to watch some good movies to your heart's content while you sit on the throne.
That's nice. As much as you'd like.
Yeah. Alrighty. On that happy note, we'll wrap it up.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.